Hey, what's up, guys? Joker here, episode 40 of TGW. Can you believe it, Brian? 40 episodes.
40!
It's crazy, man. 40 episodes.
Yeah. We've been doing this for 40 weeks. Actually, I missed one episode.
You missed...
I'm my 39th.
Yeah, you missed... Yeah, Brian missed one episode, but I still have my my DiMaggio-esque streak going, or was it Lou Gehrig? Who had the streak? Was it Lou Gehrig or DiMaggio? I forget. I think it was... I think it was... Are you sure? Was it Gehrig?
I think so.
Your monitor behind you just flickered on and off, Brian.
I know, you saw that.
Brian is having... So we may lose Brian today, guys, just so you know. He is having some technical difficulties with a second-hand graphics card, which is, I think we could say, is probably pretty typical for you, I would say. I think most people... I know Chihuahua can definitely expect that with your... where'd you fish that one out of a dumpster or something? Down at the fish market?
The thing is...
You find it in a mackerel's mouth.
This is the thing. I put my GTX 970 back together, and the cooler was bent. So I got to work on that today. I'm going to fix that. 6 in the morning. I don't have enough time. So I put in a GTX 660, and then that was going fine, right? I had this monitor running perfectly fine, and I was like, okay, the GTX 660. I don't think it'll be able to handle a HDMI, a DVI-D, and a DisplayPort all at the same time. And I tried it anyway, and then that graphics card just... So I put in another GTX 660, and this one's kind of like, it's doing all right. It's just got a monitor dropping out in the background.
But you were saying it was maybe having a problem with the G-Sync. Which cards? When did they start supporting G-Sync? I think
6 series. I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure? See, that's what I was thinking. I think it was the 7 series, maybe.
That's off the top of my head, man. Too early.
Yeah, we'd have to search. It might be the 660. I think it could. I think it's the 660 or the 760. I'm not sure why, but I think it's Maxwell, man. I think they started supporting G-Sync on Maxwell. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure they did.
Sure, it was a 6 series. I don't know.
Maybe someone could let us know in the comments. But yeah. Anyway. Any personal tech pickups you got for this week? Anything new? Well, you did. I know you did your Xeon build, man. How's that going? Besides the obvious issues.
The Xeon build's going really well. I mean, I've had to do a lot of troubleshooting just with various things. Like the graphics card really put me out. Like I was thinking it was the build when it was actually the graphics card. The build itself is just a beast, man. I'm loving every part of this. I'm also loving the audience. I'm going to say one thing about the audience. Thank you guys so much for not putting in a like, I didn't get one comment where someone's like, "Oh, the cables look ugly." It's it's not finished. It's not finished yet. So people clearly understood that.
I think your core audience understands, and they're a little bit forgiving. They understand.
Well, that's what I mean. Everyone's intelligent. I love it. That's why I love it.
I like watching it, man. It's fun seeing it progress. Like every time I watch you, it's like, is it gonna boot? Is it gonna boot? Is it gonna boot? Is it gonna boot this time? And what type of abrasive cleaner is he gonna use on that really sensitive PC part this week?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. How am I gonna scrub this PC part up? That power supply. Did you see that $70 PC? Right, that power supply. Come on.
When do we get to the point where you start taking grit off of PCBs with a flamethrower?
I've got to work on that.
I want to see that someday. That's something to think about for the future, though.
That is a technique that has to be discovered.
You have to try that one. For me, tech pickups. I did that microphone review on the dynamic mic. I actually got a different version of it, the black one, which costs like $20 more. And from what I could tell, the only difference is that it's black and it has a nicer switch on it. But yeah. I was shallow enough that I thought that was worth it, so I got it. But otherwise, the internals and everything, the quality on it is exactly the same compared to the one that I reviewed. And then nothing else really exciting. I got a Kensington lock for my LAN Syndicate build, as your monitors are all blacking out and dying behind you.
Yeah, that's it. See, they're coming back on.
This is gonna be funny. People in chat, you guys can keep track how many times Brian's monitors die throughout the show, and we can see if he actually loses the show or not. Someone said Cal Ripken in the chat. I'm talking about actually before Cal Ripken, the person's record that Cal Ripken broke. Cal Ripken broke someone's record. It was before him. I'm pretty sure it was Lou Gehrig.
Okay. But anyway.
Yeah, but
this is what's gonna happen. The monitors. This is on a live stream. It's like, okay, monitor is off.
Don't kill it. Oh my God.
I'm not gonna kill the stream. I'm just gonna kill the monitor. So,
okay. All right. Well,
take some pressure off this poor GTX 660. So
All right. Well, anyway, before we get into our first topic, I'll let you guys know that today's episode, TGW, is actually being sponsored by tact.com, which is a cool little website. They got in touch with us, and it's actually really good. We got some of our topics today off of there. It's kind of like a news website, or not really a news website, but kind of like Reddit, where you can go there, you can sign up, you post like videos, images, news stuff. I actually posted one of my own videos on there earlier just to see what would happen, and then people can tag it. It gets uploaded on here. I'm on the technology page right now, so it's actually a good resource because we're going to use it to get topics. And it's always like the hardest thing for TGW. Each week is like getting the topics. Brian could tell you is finding all of our topics. So something like this is definitely going to help us out, right? Like saving us some time getting all our topics together.
yeah, it's a good little site. I mean, you go there and just type in technology, and all technology news comes up. And definitely, we got a few of our topics for the show today, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, and you could put multiple tags in there if you want to put like technology, comma, video games, comma, whatever. You could put in multiple things and then bring up everything if you just want to see, a collection of all the news and stuff like that. It's good for us, like I said, for this show, getting everything together. So, thanks to tac.com sponsoring the show. But first topic, actually, right off of there. On PC Per, you want to take this one on the Nvidia driver? Everyone was talking about this one on Twitter, man. This was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could pretty much see what was happening kind of live. Now, I don't know if that's the driver, but it could be. I think it's the GTX 660, though, because my GTX 970 wasn't doing that until it was overheating. So, yeah, basically the multi-monitor support was messed up with an Nvidia driver, and the solution was to roll back to 362. Also, they've released a beta fix, 364.51. So take your pick, but basically the driver 364.47 is a dud if you're using multi-monitors.
Originally people thought it was just multi-monitors, but a lot of people, other people were having issues as well, and they say what it came down to was using the express install option. Now, I installed this driver day one, and I've got multiple monitors. I've got a 144 hertz, 165 hertz, a 4K screen, and I didn't have any problems, but I always use the custom install option because I do clean install, but also I get rid of the 3D things, because if you guys don't know, if you guys don't know, there's two boxes in there for 3D things. It's called like 3D NVIDIA something and 3D something else for photos. You can uncheck those because you only need those if you're going to be using a 3D monitor and actually wanting to take advantage of 3D in your games. If you're not using that, you don't need it. It's just putting extra stuff on your system from NVIDIA that you don't need. And as the drivers keep building up, if you don't do clean installs, that just keeps piling up. And then your boot drive, where most of the stuff usually goes, just sits there forever. So that's why I always do clean install and get rid of it.
Yeah, that's me too. I do that as well. And that's why I'm saying it's probably my GTX 660. That's the reason the monitors are going baloo, baloo, just dropping out.
Yep.
Anyway, so you guys got to see that live. I'm glad the webcam, man. I'm going to give the Logicool some credit this week, eh? Come on, the Logicool stuck in with us. He didn't drop out.
I do have a question, though, before we move on to another topic to Brian. What is the Impish? Because it just has me thinking of Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones because of Imp, but what is the Impish? I don't know what that is on your shirt.
Oh, okay, the Impish. The Impish grin, bro.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It's just I picked up a jumper for like $10, and I was like, "This is comfortable." I don't care about what it says on the.
Brian doesn't care what it says. He's just trying to save a buck. It's Brian. It's Brian. That's typical.
If you
Brian.
ever come to Japan, you'll realize sooner or later you're going to have to buy new clothes, and then your choices are very limited, and the English on those clothes is terrible. It's like.
So basically,
I saw a shirt one time saying "generate me." And I'm like,
so basically,
how do I generate you?
So basically, some screen printer watched Game of Thrones and heard the word imp, and then he put it on a sweatshirt, and you bought it.
No, what they do is they. Oh, sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was just looking at it.
What they do in Japan is that with the shirts, they go to Google Translate. They'll type something in Japanese, and it'll come out completely wrong in English, and they'll be like, "Let's print that on a shirt." So what you get, so then you just have people walking around with this like the stupidest shirts on. I'm doing that today. Hey,
well, man, you're gonna have. Well,
I'm just giving you guys an example.
You're just gonna have to show me firsthand, man. One day when we do like, we're gonna have to do Japanese scrapyard wars. I'm just gonna have to fly over and we'll have to just do this, and you'll have to show me some clothes shopping as well.
Yeah.
But you want to? So this AsRock, man, being some sneaky bees. Recently we've been covering the non-K Intel chips, which people were overclocking, and Intel wasn't too happy with that. So then they came out and put out this update that banned it. Well, now AsRock on a specific board has a workaround where you can still do base clocks in very small increments of 0.0625 megahertz at a time, which also affects the memory. It affects everything because it's a base clock. So doing the same thing, you just got to do it in small increments. But effectively, you could still do it. So I think it's maybe only a matter of time until Intel does something to this also. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good that AsRock are doing this for the community. I mean, like, there's no reason why you can release something and then go back on it, right? Like, I think Intel should just let it be. I mean, a desktop enthusiast who know how to do that thing is not the majority of the market. I mean, like, I would tell you that there would be so many people out there that would have a Z170 motherboard, a K processor, a water cooler, and they're not even overclocking their gear. There would be a lot of those people out there. Yeah, this option is kind of like for that enthusiast who really knows his stuff, who knows how to overclock, who knows how to get a cheap i5 and take advantage of it. I mean, there wouldn't be that many people out there. So, Intel's really just doing themselves injustice when they try and go after the board manufacturers for doing it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's really they're not really losing out on that much, and I think they would just gain so much more favor with the community if they were to get behind this and just say, "Yeah, do whatever you want with your chips." Why would once you buy the hardware? In my opinion, you own that hardware. You can do whatever you want with it. If they're putting in updates that limit you from doing what you want to your hardware, that's BS. That is BS.
Well, the biggest problem I have with it is that you're already buying the Z170 chip. Now, when you buy you're paying for that license to overclock, so they're double dipping. And
they're not buying You're not buying the B1 or the H1. It's the fucking It's the Z.
This is the biggest problem I have with Intel at the moment. They're double dipping on overclocking. They're charging you for the Z license and for the K license on the CPU side. So it's like, come on, let the community have a win every once in a while. So, but no, you can't. So, sorry, Joker, you can't win.
Can't win. Can't win with Intel, man. They just want to lock it down. But the question is Intel worse than Nvidia?
See, that's a question I do not have the answer for.
That's a question he doesn't want to touch. I don't think anyone wants to touch that question. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So you see this?
Well, to be honest, I would say that yes, they are.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, look, Nvidia isn't cost cutting on their graphics cards like to the point where you've got bent PCBs, right? I'm sure there's people out there.
Yeah, that was a bad one. That was a bad one with those
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people have bought Skylake CPUs and they've bricked them because the PCB's bent. So anyway, it's just I'm not really happy about that. I mean, have you seen the size of the Intel coolers? How big they used to be?
Oh,
and how big they are, and how big they are now.
I thought they got rid of them altogether. I thought they weren't making them at all anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, on the K side of things, they're not even including them anymore. But we're talking about just the normal cooler.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like literally gone from like 400 grams to 80 grams.
So it's just flimsy and light and not really well built at all.
Yeah.
Cheap manufacturing.
Yeah.
Makes sense. They probably don't think anyone's going to actually use it, or if the people that are buying those cheaper processors aren't going to be overclocking anyway, so they don't need better cooling.
Well, the thing is, you used to be able to use them like legitimately, and they would give half decent overclocks. Now, good luck using an Intel cooler to get anything other than like an undervolt,
Yeah, you could have taken like a stock i5 to like 4 gigahertz or something like decent, Not crazy, but you could have gone to 4 gigahertz or something.
You could, 4 gigs back on when they had the big coolers was a pretty big overclock. So I'd say, you go to like 3.4 or something. So we got Tom Clancy's The Division. You want to take this away? Some gaming news.
Yeah, man. This came out yesterday. I put up a video earlier today about why I wasn't going to review it, but
I just see queues. Like you got a queue in line.
Yep. Yeah, they forgot to put in some things to allow players to actually be able to pass through each other. So all of the players now actually have to line up and at a queue, but people are actually being good about it. Like rather than being like you would like I would have imagined like everyone would just be like pushing and pushing and pushing and just trying to see who goes first, but everyone is actually lining up, pretty orderly and like, yep, all right, everyone line up. It's like it's based. I was making the joke earlier. It's the DMV, the Division of Motor Vehicles, and they've even included the weight. Q Simulator 2016.
I've heard the character customization isn't that good either. Like,
there's like 6 faces or something.
Yeah, so you have a lot of people looking similar, and yeah, you can see even in this screenshot, you can see the 2 dudes with the gray hair. They look like exactly the same. like, like you could actually see that.
Well, here I want to read. There's one review on the Steam user reviews. I wanted to read for people real quick before we move on to another topic. This guy says, "They activated me, a Division agent, in the world's darkest hour. The time had come. I left my wife and child behind and headed for the nightmare that New York City had become. I didn't know if I'd ever see them again. I had my orders. I fought my way through black screens and sound bugs I endured. My mission? Simple. Try on every beanie, hat, and scarf in the city." So that is that was the best that was the best review I read on Steam. Like 11 out of 10 for that review. Recommended.
There you go.
and for my gameplay in the beta, I would say that sounds extremely accurate to the experience of the Division. Beanie Simulator / Q Simulator / DMV Simulator 2016 edition. But oh man, so you have anything else you want to add on Division before we talk about Fallout 5?
No, not really. I mean, yeah, I might play it when it gets cheaper. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's not like I was saying. It's not really a bad game. It's really not a bad game. It's just not a good game, and it doesn't have a lot of substance to it. I would equate it to Battlefront, like the way Battlefront was. Like it comes out, it's like, ooh, it's got like it looks nice and it's got sounds good and looks good and the mechanics are okay and it's like, but then you play it for a few hours and you're like, there's really not much here. Why am I still playing this? So then you go play something else that's better.
Yeah, how much does that cost?
I mean, well, obviously they charge $60. You could find it for like $45, $50 if you look around on CD keys if you want.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll wait. Yeah, I mean, like
yeah,
when
I would
buy
pay
a
20.
video game, yeah.
20, I'd buy for 20.
That's what I mean. When I buy a video game nowadays, it better blow me away because, that's what I'm used to when I play PC games, especially coming from the past. I'm used to being blown away. When I buy a PC game, it's going to be awesome because, back what, even just 10 years ago, like you were buying PC games and like every game was awesome, either good or awesome. Nowadays, I buy a PC game and it's either mediocre to decent. I mean, I have played some really good games recently, like Wolfenstein was good, Metro Last Light, GTA 5. These were games that blew me away, and I was happy. But then, like I'm going to be honest, man. Fallout 4 is good. It's not like great.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't like Game of the Year. And then I'm going to be you're probably going to hate this, but Witcher 3 didn't really do it for me either.
Really? I mean, Fallout 4 had still had a lot of its bugs, but compared to the other games I played from last year, it held my attention a hell of a lot more than other games because it actually had something to it, and the world felt lived in, and I enjoyed the characters in this game, which is something I have actually really never experienced before in a Bethesda game. I've never really sunk into a Bethesda titles and really enjoyed the characters and the richness of the world and wanted to explore the story. But in Fallout 4, I wanted to stay there. I wanted to go do all of the side quests for the Railroad and for the Minutemen and the Institute and do everyone's quest that I could and explore everything. So that's really had my attention.
With Fallout 4, I think I've just really got to set aside a lot of time though. That's the thing. So I think I don't have enough time.
You need a lot of time for that game.
Yeah, you do. And then like Witcher 3, I just didn't like the combat system. As soon as I got into it, I was like,
You see, playing Fallout 4 at least, or playing a game like that for me, and Witcher 3 as well.
Yeah, Witcher 3. Sorry, I mean I didn't really like the combat system. Witcher 3. I liked Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is pretty good. So it's decent.
There is a lot of mixed opinions about the combat in Witcher 3. I am a fan of it, but some people don't like it. I mentioned that in my review of that. I was like, I don't know why people don't like it, but I've always enjoyed it.
It's just
except for the first one. The first one was messed up.
Well, it's me coming from World of Warcraft. Probably that's what a lot of people who come from World of Warcraft might not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
it's definitely not like that. That's more point and clicky. If you like that, you'd probably actually prefer the first Witcher. The first Witcher is more like that. It's kind of like that where you point and click on the enemies, and then it's time based where you have to like you swing your sword, and then like there's an icon that comes up when it's at the right timing, and then it swings again. It gives you a more powerful attack if you time it right. It was kind of wonky, and it's really dated, and I would not want to play it honestly at this point in time. But back then, it was still a really good game for its time.
Yeah. So anyway, we got next topic here: Fable Legends cancelled.
Well, we didn't really talk about the Fallout one. We didn't mention what was going on with this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. We sort of transitioned into talking about Fallout, but we never actually went touch on the story. So,
Okay, so Ryan Alozio lent out a hint of pre-production of Fallout 5, and then he's sort of like, "Oops." So yeah, it looks like Fallout 5 is going into production, I guess, or pre-production.
Probably doesn't come into a surprise to anyone that it will eventually come out. But I mean, knowing Bethesda, they don't rush their games, and I would say we probably won't see this for at least 3 to 5 years or something, unless they have another team on it, like they did with Fallout 3 in New Vegas. You know, they might have a second team come on for this, so that could be a possibility, and we might get it a little sooner than you might expect. But I'm hoping, I want to see an Elder Scrolls title before we see another Fallout. More than anything, that's what I want to see.
I want to see a new engine. I want to see it overhaul.
Yes,
I mean, they've made a lot of money off Fallout 4. Like, there is no reason they can't do it now. Like, now they've made a truck. Like, they've got trucks backing in daily to wherever wherever those checks are getting delivered.
I mean, I'm perfectly happy to sit here and wait, 3 to 5 years for them to put out, do an engine and then put out a new Elder Scrolls game on that engine. I'd be pumped for that. And if you want to put out a filler game in the middle of that, like a Fallout, another Fallout, then so be it.
I've got it. That's it. The Bethesda truck in Euro Truck Simulator. Have you made it?
Oh God, no.
It's just a big truck with money in the back. You've got to get that cracking. Hey
can
guys,
we get the Skyrim Fus Radar horns? The Fus Radar. I want to get those. I want to get those on the front instead of like those Texas Longhorn things. I want to get the Skyrim horns. Yes.
Well, you need the Bethesda money truck with money printed all over it. Yeah,
that would be the Ubisoft truck.
No, well, there you go. So
except it would more closely resemble a garbage truck.
Well, that's it. So we hope that's not the case.
Garbage, mon ami. We want to dump our Ubi shit on you. Anyway.
Okay.
Speaking of studios, Fable Legends canceled. Lionhead Studios closed down. I'm sure Peter Molyneux is currently crying somewhere into a pillow and thinking of another lie that he can come up with afterwards to promote another game that won't actually come out. So do you know the story behind Peter Molyneux and all that? Like,
no, actually, haven't followed it. No, you'd have to give me a quick update.
So Peter Molyneux is like one of the big creative people behind the Fable series, and he is notorious for over-promising and under-delivering. He's like the AMD of game developers. So he like when the first Fable was going to come out, he had promised time traveling on gold dolphins or something, and there was this tree that would grow as you would play throughout the game, and you would be able to come back later on, it would still be there, and all this other stuff that they had promised with each iteration of Fable, over-promising, and then it would never be there in the game. People were like, what the hell? And he'd be like, oh, sorry, guys. And it was each Fable was disappointing in that way, but people always forgave him because the games were still good in some way, even though they were really buggy. Anyway, that's a little backstory on that for you, I guess.
Yeah, but, I'm gonna add on that Microsoft Studios. I mean, one of my subscribers pulled me up with Bill Gates grilled over the future of Age of Empires, and I'm going to say, Bill Gates, please give us Age of Empires 4. That's all Microsoft have to do. That's all they have to do.
Brian, you don't understand, okay? Bill Gates hasn't worked for Microsoft for 7 years, okay? Oh God.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it does say he did an AMA on Reddit, and it does say Age of Empires 4 confirmed.
No, so Brian, it's Phil Spencer because Bill Gates doesn't work for Microsoft. He swims in a pool.
Doesn't matter. Age of Empires 4, if it's coming, if this is real, Age of Empires 4. Yeah, I want it to, man. I need a new RTS game. It needs to have new graphics. It just needs to be Age of Empires. I need this in my life. So please.
Well, please. Anyway, with the Fable getting canceled though, it looks like a large reason was behind it was because it was an asymmetrical multiplayer game, and they kind of saw the way the tide was going with other games like Evolve and things like that. So, yeah,
I
it
mean,
looks like
sometimes
asymmetrical
it could be
multiplayer only games aren't doing very well when they come out. But I don't think that's because I don't think that should say to people that asymmetrical multiplayer games are bad, because they're not. You just need to put out a really good one, and people will like it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Rainbow Six Siege.
That's actually very true. So, I mean, though Microsoft might just, there might be a lot of other things going on that we don't hear about. Maybe progress was coming on way too slow. There's things that we don't know from the outside. And they probably just decided to pull the pin, right? Worthless investment. That's what they thought. Bang, get rid of it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's reasons that we don't know, but whatever reason, they thought it wasn't worth the investment, so they cancelled it. They pulled the pin. That's usually how it works with a company like Microsoft. So they don't see the reward. Anyway,
you want to take this next one here? Dual GPU on the Fury X, man.
Yeah, I would take it, but my monitor's dropping out here, so I'll just be the support. Like, I'm serious. I've got the article up. And hold on, I can see it now. Okay, anyway, so Dual XT Fiji is apparently going to be launching in a few days at the AMD. What is it? Capsaicin?
Capsaicin? I don't know. Are they talking about like the stuff that's in peppers that makes it really hot? Capsaicin?
Yeah, well, I thought it was capsicum.
It's capsicum.
Just call it the capsicum event. There we go. So yeah, AMD at the capsicum event, they're going to release red capsicums, of course. Red Capsicums are going to release their dual Fiji XT GPU, and as we said before, and another thing about this event, have you pulled that? Like, apparently they're going to be teasing Polaris as well. So it's kind of, for me, it's like this is where I go back, and I mean I'm impressed to see new things from AMD, but it's kind of like mixing a old gen card with a new gen card at the same time is a little bit. Like, this is where I question AMD's marketing strategies.
I would love to have one of these, man. I would.
I just think they should just release it. I just think they shouldn't put it off at a press event.
They need to stop waiting. They just need to just come out like one day and just be like, oh, here it is. It's here, guys. And I would love one, because I'm hoping to check out. I'm going to be getting a FreeSync monitor in pretty soon, so I would love to have something like this, because I'm an SLI crazy person. I like to have insane FPS. So like having a dual GPU card like this would be great, because I wouldn't want to have Fury X's like two of those with the water coolers and everything. So getting a dual GPU solution like this would be great if they hooked it up with maybe like a 240 millimeter radiator or a 120, whatever. I'd be all for that, man, on this thing. I would love that. Yeah,
that'd be a good thing. So, but again, I wouldn't buy it. Like, this is my personal opinion, especially with Pascal and Polaris coming out this year, right? I would not recommend anyone buy something like this. That's
what if they made it a proper 8 gigabytes of usable video memory of HBM?
But they can't.
Why?
Because that's how it currently works in DX11 titles. I mean, DX12 titles could take advantage of it, yeah, but it's still stacked.
Use HBM2.
Yeah, but it's still, you need 4 gigabytes dedicated to each GPU.
I'm saying if they had 8 to each GPU.
Well, they don't. They don't. You read the specs, 2x4.
Oh, they actually said in here that it was 2x4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
rubbish.
It's in the specs.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't
buy one. I wouldn't buy one, but I would like one.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend. So, yeah, well, who wouldn't want one? Hey guys, I want one. I
just couldn't.
I want something for free.
What I'm saying is, for people buying GPUs at this point in time, unless you're on like the budget end, like $300 or less, I couldn't recommend buying a 4 gigabyte card. If you're on the enthusiast side, even if it's HBM, 4 gigabytes, just wait until other cards come out that have way more, because 4 gigabytes ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, HBM2's on the horizon.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. There's so much new stuff coming out that, like a GTX 970 will tide me over. Like, just on the D-Lo, guys, I'm going to be selling my 980 Ti. I'm getting foot in the door early. So, yeah. That's going along with my X99.
Brian you need to clear out a PCI slot for some Pascal or some or what is it? AMD stuff, yeah?
That's it. So I need to clear out some room here for the. I've got some AMD cards here, man. I've got some AMD cards. I've got a 7970 here. I've got a 6970. I've got a 6950 in this card at the moment. So yeah, I've got a few AMD cards here. I'm rocking. I got a 7870 that just rocked up too.
You know what else you're gonna have to make some room for?
What?
Seagate's fastest ever SSD.
Oh, good segue. Good segue.
He liked that. He loves it when I do that.
Yeah.
He loves it when I do that.
Yeah.
It's not obvious at all. No. So yeah, Seagate is preparing to launch their fastest ever the fastest ever SSD this summer. Has Seagate even put out any SSDs at all? I remember looking once, I couldn't find
they put out the SSHD, right? So
I've seen those. Yeah, I've seen those.
I haven't. I don't recall a dedicated SSD from Seagate though.
Yeah,
but
neither do I.
I've spoke to a lot of people on Twitter about the whole Seagate thing. Like, if you guys have followed me, you know I'm not a big follower of Seagate, but a lot of my viewers are telling me that the Seagate business drive, like the drives dedicated for the business sector, the non-consumer drives, are really good. So I'll take their word on that. It's just the consumer drives. Even a lot of people, are saying that the failure rates on their consumer drives are actually pretty high. So, just for what it's worth, we've got to clarify that with Seagate. But because I've had like I've said before, in the past, me and my friends, we've all had bad experiences on Seagate consumer drives. So I'd love to try a Seagate business drive. But anyway, the fact that Seagate's jumping in and they're going into the SSD market makes me kind of intrigued.
I'm intrigued, and I would also be concerned though, just because I know that their track record with reliability on mechanical drives, it would instantly that would just have me scared going into it right away with SSDs. Just knowing how they are, it's not like a mechanical drive where it degrades and dies. It's like it just dies and that's it. Everything's gone. Bye. So I would be really scared trusting Seagate with that. Knowing their track record.
Well, that's the thing with Seagate. A lot of people have put it down to a lot of the times in the past with their consumer, especially with their consumer drives, is that they ramp the drives up too hard to the point where they're, because they want to get the fastest mechanical drives out there, right? We've got the fastest 7,200 RPM drive, and they make it too fast to the point where it's unreliable. So I hope they're not going to take, that approach.
Who do you think they're gonna source the memory from on this?
I would say usually it'd be either is it 3D, Micron or Samsung? I don't know.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see.
Yeah, it is going to be. Yeah. But like you were saying, that they're always wanting to be the fastest, and here right out of the gate with SSDs being the fastest, and it could just prove to be just as problematic as it was on the mechanical side of things. So we'll see.
You just like using your computer, like, oh, these speeds are great. Oh, what just happened?
So that was the sound of Seagate, man, running for freedom. Freedom.
That's it. We need to get the next topic up here.
Australia, man. This has got you all over it, man. I'll let you take this.
Yeah, so someone posted up on Reddit an article where Target's now taken like the actual game labels off, and they're just putting like this R18 plus like printed out label on there. And it's like, come on. I mean, now you can't even see the games. Like, that's going to be so annoying when you're quickly like looking for a title, and now you got to like read every title. It's like,
yeah.
So I mean,
not to mention what it's doing to the the bottom line of the publishers that are and the developers that are putting these games out and trying to make money off of them. It's all their advertising is gone. It's like it's kind of similar to the way, like in America, if a movie gets an NC-17 rating and not an R rating, even though both of them actually indicate you have to be 17 or over to see it, if you get an NC-17 rating, they won't have like movie posters being shown in certain cinemas. They won't have advertising on TV and billboards and things like that. You'll get a lot of restrictions as a result of it. So there have been movies that have had to tone back their violence or their sex or cursing or whatever to get a regular R rating. So that's and because it'll hurt their numbers, and that's why they do it. That's why, like Marvel, there's a big deal about Deadpool being rated R because that limits them. Because PG-13 would make it a lot more marketable, be able to market to kids. Being that it's R, they can't do that. But it's shown that it actually hasn't hurt Deadpool there because the movie's just amazing.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. But I'm thinking with like if you've been to Australia, like even like the cigarette packs and stuff, they've got like these images of people like with
Yeah,
just like no
that's what it
teeth
looks
in
like.
their mouth and stuff. Like it's kind of like the same
Skull and
approach. It's like,
crossbones. Skull and
yeah.
crossbones. That's what it is. It does look like that. They have that in the EU as well. The skull and crossbones. It does kind of look like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's just like you're censoring everything, and it's like, what's going on with this world nowadays? Like, really, a parent can't just say, "Don't look at those games, kids. Like they're R-rated. They're not for you." You know, when we were kids and we went to the store and we saw that stuff, my mom would be like, "Don't look at that. Simple as that." You know, and if you don't have control over your kids, then what are you doing? You know, what are you doing as a parent?
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's
It's
just like
this kind of this kind of intervention isn't necessary, and I think there have like I don't have anything like pulled up obviously, but I'm pretty sure there have been like studies done that point to this kind of stuff not being effective. I'm pretty
It's
sure.
just- it's just like, what are we doing to the point? We're censoring everything to the point where just our world's becoming one politically correct fucking mess. You know what I mean? Like,
Bunch of SJWs, man.
it's getting annoying. Like, really, this is just, it annoys me. This article, I see this crap. I'm like, wow, really? You know?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I hate all that. I hate all that stuff. I don't
Yeah.
like all this fucking it's what I like to call the rounded corner society. Everyone's afraid to have a couple sharp corners here and there because they don't want to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Gotta
It's
have
just,
those-
yeah, it's just
gotta have those
complaining.
rounded. You gotta have those rounded safety corners for the kids.
Oh, yeah, well, complaining.
You know,
Everyone's complaining.
You got to do it just in case some stupid people might actually injure themselves. But
That's it. That's essentially it. Yeah, society's just slowly devolution, baby, devolution.
yeah. So Assassin's Creed looks like they're saying it may actually not return to annual releases, which I think a lot of people actually welcome, except for the hardcore fanboys that don't really care about just getting the same thing every single year.
Well, this is actually good news. Like I was thinking with the whole like I play, like playing through GTA 5, it made me appreciate what we'll get onto that article later. Have we got that article up today?
Which one's that?
GTA 5. Like, I mean, I like that approach, right?
No.
You take a few years to release a really quality game. Like from what I can see, there's just so much Assassin's Creed out there that it's like I don't even know where to begin. I mean, there's one. Which one's the one you recommended? There was the one in
I don't know.
England, yeah, the one in England.
The newest one, Syndicate. The newest one, Syndicate,
Yes.
it's not bad compared to the recent ones. It's not bad, but it's still nowhere near. I feel as good as far as lore and narrative is concerned compared to like the Altair or the Ezio trilogy. Nowhere near close to
Okay,
those.
so I mean, I think if they take their time and you even give it 2 years a title, they can really release something that's amazing. I'd rather see that than just being like, okay, we've got to get a game out every year. I mean, look at what's happened to the Call of Duty franchise. That's just trash now. Like they've really just every division now they tried and spin it off like, hey, it was this division's fault. We've now got Sledgehammer Games or Treyarch's going to do a good job. No, sorry guys, they all messed up. They all released trash as of recent. Ever since Black Ops 2, it's just they've been trickling out shit. And I'd rather them just trickle out gold, not shit. And I respect this decision. This is actually some good news. I would take it as good news. So I'd rather have a game. If I'm paying good money for a game, I want it to be good.
Yeah, I agree. I'd rather see them take their time. You were mentioning GTA 5. I'd rather see them take their time like they do with the Rockstar games. But they also work their employees like dogs at Rockstar. But it gets good results at the end of the day.
Gets the job done, yeah.
It's
I'm
good
paying
results.
that $50. I don't care.
Basically, how does Rockstar make such good games time after time? Basically, they got like overlords standing over them with whips, just cracking away like code. It's like Vikings like rowing the ship. The slaves would row. But like
No, but those three main actors, man, they were like voice actors for how long was the contract on all those guys? Franklin, Trevor, and Mike. How long was
I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
like it was like apparently they were working for like 2 years just straight, man.
Wow.
On the voice acting. Yeah, like that just goes to show lengths for what Rockstar did with GTA 5. And I give them props for that after I read that because I thought GTA 5 was a really well put together game. And I talked to my brother
incredible.
about it. I mean, my brother played it on PS3 with crap. I played it at 4K and it was just incredible. Like the whole experience. So I really gave them props for that because they ported it and they took their time to port it to PC properly. You know what I mean? So I give, that's why I mean, that's sure, there's a lot of bad things that Rockstar have been doing, but the core element there, the releasing the proper title, they definitely hit that on the head, So, anyway.
And what's up in the chat? Also, Bad Seed showed up. Brian, Bad Seed Tech, what's good, man?
Yeah, what's good? Sorry, I
What's
can't see the
really
chat this
good?
week, guys. Yeah, I can't. I can't see the chat this week because this graphics card will just drop out. Like that's truth.
Yeah, and no, Gordon didn't get banned. Gordon got put on a 300-second timeout. He got put in the corner with the dunce cap. He could try again. You could try again when you come back, Gordon. Only because your name is awesome and Gordon Freeman is awesome. So why don't you just come back and try to be awesome and not so salty, okay? But anyway, you move on to this Star Citizen. Looks like it actually may support Vulkan. And
Yeah, so I mean, like,
excited. Robert, they're basically saying they're pretty excited by Vulkan, looking at the possibilities, between that and DirectX 12. So I think that'd be great to see it support both. That way, we get it on Linux and everything. That's awesome. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying we are considering our options between Vulkan and DirectX 12. I hope we haven't made a full decision. So it looks like they're going to pick one or the other, but I would like them to pick Vulkan, honestly. After what I've heard about DX12, I'm not too keen on it. I'm actually all for Vulkan now, and I think if something like Star Citizen was to get behind Vulkan, wow, what a big win that would be for Vulkan. And especially for Linux users as well. So, yeah. So anyway, this is a big maybe at the moment, but they're still deciding if they should use DX. I mean, there's not much to this article. It's just like
it is. Well, it is. Yeah, it is a big maybe, but I would say it's exciting because, especially with in lieu of what we just had happen with DirectX 12 in the Windows Store, seeing more games supporting Vulkan and then being available on other platforms is, I think, definitely a good thing. Just support for more platforms can never hurt.
And simultaneously, right? So then Linux users don't have to wait 5 months to get a game or whatnot. So, I mean, that's a good thing about it. So Vulkan's really good in that regard. So if they can get games out on Vulkan, Linux users will be able to finally rejoice. And they'll be like, hey, we can use a free OS that's good. And, for me, I can't Adobe Premiere Pro, I don't think. I mean, actually, is the cloud working properly on Linux? There's not much. I got to research that if it's working properly on Linux, because I'd love to make a transfer one day and get off Windows 10.
Yeah.
So, actually, on that note, I've got to say I've been using Edge. Like my custom hate. I uninstalled Firefox.
You uninstalled Firefox,
and
Why?
Edge has gotten really good, dude. Like
Edge?
Yes.
But what about plugins?
I don't use plugins.
What? Get out of! I'm gonna hang this call up now.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
bro.
You don't even. How do you protect yourself?
What do you mean?
What about,
don't go to dodgy ass sites.
What about websites that run like scripts?
You can go to
websites that you think that you can trust and they fucking run scripts.
Yeah, well, you block third-party cookies.
But that's where you get extensions and things like NoScript. You get things like NoScript and all that kind of stuff, man.
Send do not track requests. I mean, it's got the options, it's got the basic options there to protect myself. So
get the.
It's just I'm going to tell you when I pulled up 20 tabs the other day. I did a test. I pulled up
Edge
like
is good
20...
if you like Microsoft tracking everything you do, man. I mean,
Google does it, dude. Chrome is not. Chrome.
I don't use Chrome. I use Firefox though.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I pulled up 20 tabs and Firefox was lagging. Edge was just taking the cake away. So maybe Microsoft's doing something to deliberately nerf Firefox on Windows 10. I don't know, and I don't care. They can go have their pissing contest somewhere else. I'm just looking for the browser that's, the quickest and snappiest for me.
But if you're on Edge, you can't, like for me, you can't run Twitter Disconnect, you can't run YouTube HD, you can't run SoundCloud Downloader, Roomy Bookmarks Toolbar, LastPass, Facebook Disconnect, Empty Cache button. You can't, all these amazing extensions I have, you don't have.
I use Twitter.
And Microsoft tracks you.
I use Facebook at work. I can watch YouTube in HD.
But when you do it though, they're tracking you though. No, YouTube HD is just an amazing extension. It's YouTube high definition. It auto sets every video to like the highest resolution and stuff, and it's awesome.
It should do that anyway. Like you've got that setting there.
But they have other things like, okay, so in here my options, I've got highest resolution, expanded video size, disable annotations because they're annoying as fuck. You could set the volume level. You can set if you want to have embedded videos play automatically or not. You can turn on and off playlists automatically. There's loads of different customization you can do. And my favorite one actually is having the description box expanded by default when you go onto video, so you can see people's like video links and stuff like that they put in their description. because we spend a lot of time making our description and stuff like that. I like to be able to see what people put down there for us, especially if they're putting sources and things. So that's like my favorite thing on there. I couldn't live without that.
Yeah. You couldn't live without it.
Couldn't live without it, man. Couldn't live without it, brother.
So what happens when you got 20 tabs up and they all start lagging? What do
You mean
do
like,
then?
dude? Do you have any idea how many tabs I have open right now running this show? I've got 3 monitors with 3 different instances of Firefox. Each one would probably close to 25 tabs open.
Yeah, and what if you snap? What if you snap between what if you
dude,
snap between tabs? What happens?
Dude, literally, like, look here, look.
Okay.
Look,
Well, I can't
tabs.
see. The stream's not
The
up.
stream can look tabs, 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 tabs. It's just tabs for days. Tabs for days, kids. It's like there's no crash in here, brothers. There's no crash in here.
All right, we're gonna get some of your Mozilla Firefox source.
There you go. I'll tell you, I got them scripts running, man. I got on that's why I got the things like NoScript running in the background so that it is super stable, so that all these websites, even the ones you trust, aren't launching crap in the background that you don't know about.
What about Adobe Flash? See, I'm not installing that, and I need to use that to edit annotations in YouTube videos.
I have no problems editing annotations on my YouTube videos in Firefox.
Yeah, but you have to use Adobe Flash. I don't want to install that.
Why?
This is terrible.
Okay. I actually have a different player activated in Firefox. The Flash one, you don't have to use that. Actually, you can go into your about:config. If you go on Firefox about:config, you can go in there. You can actually set a custom parameter for the video players for YouTube to use a different player besides the HTML5 or the Flash player. So you don't have to use either one of those. You can use a better one.
You're gonna have to tell me after stream because
There are on Firefox on Firefox there are 4 different YouTube player options that you can have, each one having different advantages than others, and also have different drawbacks. And there's like resolutions, frame rates. Like for instance, on Firefox by default you can't do 4K 60 FPS, but with the player that I enable, you can do 4K 60 FPS. Otherwise, I'd have to go over Chrome to use it.
Okay, you win.
I know. I'm just telling our audience. I'm educating people. No. Don't think of it as I'm coming down on you. That's a lot of good information.
I'm just saying.
People in the chat might not know, so I want them to know because they might not be aware of this stuff.
Well, I was just saying. I popped up like 20. I did a test side by side, and Edge was pooping all over Firefox.
That's okay. I just wanted to, that's fine. Yeah. We could both present our sides. I just wanted to let people know about those features because they're really good. That's what part of the reasons I love Firefox. So just let people know. I'm passionate about my Firefox, man.
You are.
Microsoft Edge, get wrecked. Anyway, HBM2, man. Sky Hynix. You want to take this?
Oh yeah, so apparently a German site is. I don't have the article like my GTX 660 problems here. GTX 660 problems, but apparently a German site has said that HBM2 is going to go in mass production later in the year. So they're going to get 2 GB variants, we're going to get 4 GB variants, and 8 GB variants. But it says that the 8 GB variants are apparently dedicated to the server market. So that's a bit worrying because I want to see the 8 GB cards, the 8 GB chips dedicated to the gamer market. Oh, then again, you could probably have more combinations there, right? I've got to figure out how many chips there are on board. So yeah, they've got different variations of sizes there, and you're going to see some pretty good cards, some pretty fast cards coming out. So sorry, I misinterpreted that one. So yeah. But yeah, we'll be getting some fast cards coming out later this year. That's all this says. Yeah.
This was pretty late. I was going to let you take that one. I know you linked it, so. But yeah, HBM2, man, people are making it, so we'll be using it.
Yeah.
And next one is kind of like a little light topic as well. Total War Warhammer delayed again. I remember we covered this a couple months back where they had delayed it. Now it got delayed even again. There's been a few Warhammer games I've liked. I liked the Warhammer Vermintide game, which is very different from like what this is, and I like the Warhammer 40K Space Marine game, the third-person action one. But I've never really gotten to like the RTS-y stuff. Have you played any of those?
No, I haven't really. Hey, I mean, I think my brother went out and bought he spent like $1,000 on some toys, some Warhammer toys. Like apparently that's huge, right? You get the models and you paint them and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's like full on thing, man. This being under the Total War branding, I probably will check this out because I've played other Total War games and I like those, so I will check this out for sure. And the theme on it looks cool, just being set in Total War as well. If it's just that gameplay, but with like a fantasy Warhammer theme, I don't see it can go wrong there unless they wreck the performance, which is a possibility. Sega has not had a good track record with the Total War titles and performance on the PC, especially regarding SLI. So we'll see what happens when that comes out. We'll see
I
what
don't
happens.
mind. Yeah, having no SLI is fine. You know, just,
No, it's
I
bite
just,
your tongue, sir. God,
I just-
second time today, I almost had to bitch slap you digitally.
well, I want to see a paladin. That's all I want to see.
Brian.
Bring me a paladin, man. I haven't played a paladin in a video game for a while now, like a proper holy man cleansing the earth. You know, that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to have a cleanse, then I can cleanse myself. You know.
Yep. So, also, we got another topic here. Amazon starting a virtual reality platform, and they've been doing a lot of interesting stuff recently. The VR, they've got like an animation platform and game development now. It's doing a lot of stuff over there. Branching
Yeah.
into
See,
a lot of different
are
areas.
they? Is Amazon the counter to Skynet?
Amazon?
That's
I don't know. What happens if Google and Amazon combine forces?
well, then we're screwed.
And
Like,
Microsoft.
Well,
That's the three-headed dog.
Yeah.
What's the name for the mythical beast of the three-headed dog? I
Hydra.
forget.
Oh, the Hydra.
Yeah, the Hydra. There you go. Yeah, we don't want the Hydra.
Yeah, it's
Hail
I
Hydra.
think there's like a full name for it, but yeah, it's the Hydra, you know, the three-headed dragon.
Oh, I was
thing.
thinking about the three-headed dog though.
Okay,
that's
something
the
like
three-headed.
that.
There's a three-headed dog as well. I can't remember what that one.
Gemini? No, Gemini is
No,
the
it's
dual
not.
one.
No. Oh, it's
He's
like
the
it's like the
two-clicker.
dog from Harry Potter that Hagrid has like his pet. It's like a gigantic fucking dog or some shit. I don't know.
You chop its head off and it grows back or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, Amazon is now they're starting a VR platform. So yeah.
Yeah, it looks like so many people are getting on board with VR. It's like, yeah, let's get on board with VR. And I mean, the thing is, they
future.
know where a lot of the money's going to be made as well. I mean, you go to a theme park now, you can just drop
Cerberus,
on
he
a-
got
you
there we
see
go.
that?
Cerberus, that's it. Cerberus.
Yeah, so you look. This is going to be really good for theme parks. I can imagine theme parks just going ham with this. You see that picture there, right? You go to a theme park, drop on a VR headset, and you're going to be like, "Wow, this is so good." But what still remains to be seen is if I'm going to still be getting vertigo when I put on one of these things.
I think so. I mean, I just can't wait to get in a proper VR headset and do some real testing with it.
Yeah, apparently a lot of good feedback about the HTC Vive as well. So
I haven't tried it since like 2 years ago in a mall, and back then it was awful.
yeah, well, that's what I mean. It looks like it's come a long way now. So
I put it on, and I was like, oh my god, this is like terrible, and I had a headache after 2 seconds. I was like, this needs a lot of work.
well, it's getting a lot of focus, so you can see VR is going to be the next big thing because they can only do resolution so much, right? Like, who's going to buy an 8K monitor? It's like, guys, I don't need, like, even 28-inch 4K is really pushing it for me. Like, yeah. So I think they've got to focus on a new avenue to make products that they can legitimately sell, and that's where VR comes into it. So, you know, how many... And, you know, like, I'd question that some other upgrades aren't even really upgrades, right? We've got... You know, they changed from CCFL lighting to LED lighting, and I much prefer CCFL backlighting over white LEDs.
Really?
Yeah, so much better for your, not just better for your eyes, but I believe the colors are better on a CCFL backlit. Unless it's RGB LEDs, and those don't come in unless you're paying good money for a monitor, like $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
And that's why when companies, you know, release $1,000 plus monitors and they're putting white LEDs in there, I kind of scratch my head and I'm like, why are you guys doing this? It doesn't make any sense, right? If I'm paying that much for a monitor, I want it to have RGB LEDs that give me good reds, good greens, good white, like from the get-go, good blues, all from the core, not just some, you know, blue light with a fancy filter over it. So, yeah, so that's why I prefer CCFL backlighting, because it really spikes on the green. And this is what I've said in the past, your eyes are attuned to seeing green the easiest. And, you know, it's funny, it's ironic, because we're least attuned to seeing blue, every human being. So, but we've got at the core of our monitors, we've got blue light being spun out.
Yeah.
You know, so you want, here's the thing, I want CCFL backlighting in my monitors as
And
opposed to.
I'm not familiar with any of that stuff you're talking about. So
I was
I'm
just
just
funny.
this is the first I'm hearing
Yeah.
about any different type of lights. I didn't even know about any of this crap.
Oh, it's just funny, like just how we're supposedly progressing in technology. So I hope they get it right with.
But in some ways, we go backwards. You're saying?
Yeah, that's what I mean. In some ways, I believe we're going backwards. Give me my CCFL backlight.
Yeah, CFL does look ugly on camera. That's why when you said that, I was like, really? Because I was thinking of CFL lighting and the way it looks like when I film, like having like yellow light, and it looks awful. But you're saying
No.
it's better.
I've got CCFL lighting all in my house here. I don't have LEDs in my house, so I
What
got
about
rid
for
of.
like your soft boxes? I mean, for filming.
Yeah, I use CCFL as well.
Oh yeah.
50 hertz. Yeah, you got to tune your camera to 50 hertz. Like I film at 30 FPS, 50 hertz to accommodate for the flicking, right?
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, you want to move on to this next one here? So there's a new benchmark, actually. When I saw this, I thought of you instantly because you got your new Xeon CPUs. And look at the bottom. It's like talking about Xeons all day long down here. All the high scores on the Corona benchmark here. So it's a new rendering engine that you can do run a benchmark on your system, kind of similar to like Cinebench or something. So you go run this, and it's nice to have an alternative because it's always been like, it's like all we got is Cinebench, and like that's pretty much it. And then it's like that was it. So now you got Corona. This is cool.
Look at this dude at the top. 36 physical cores. Oh. So
Wait, I want to know where Barnacules
Studio.
is. We got to do. We got to tag Barnacules on this. I got to like Barnacules. You need to beat this top score, man.
He
I'm gonna tell
won't,
him right
dude.
now.
That's like, dude, like, are you serious? It's a V3. They've got two Haswell 18 cores together. Like that, you're not beating that. Barnacules ain't beating that unless he's got like a spare 30 grand or whatever, spare $20,000.
There we go. Well, he's got a Puget Systems. I don't know. Maybe he can hit Puget up and just say, "Hey guys, just build me a PC that can beat this top score, so that we can put it up there, and the name will be the Puget Barnacules system at the #1 spot."
I'm pretty sure my beast in the back here. I'm pretty sure that's like edging in on.
It's like, why do you think
Barnacules,
that's
man.
like? Why do you think that one is one? It's the #1 spot is Tesla Studio. So obviously that's sponsored. It's the most expensive one on there. So he's basically going to have to beat Tesla.
I don't think that's happening. I mean, that's a hard score to beat, man. That really is.
It's only
but actually,
it's
one
only
of my
Tesla.
subscribers, one of my viewers showed me a picture of 4 CPUs with a terabyte of RAM. So I'm gonna hit him up and say, look, do this benchmark and beat. I just want to see someone beat Tesla.
Yeah, you got to beat Tesla.
And they've got to do it with like a big capital name, like John Travolta or something.
Everyone go post this benchmark on Twitter. Like tag
Yeah.
Linus in it, tag Jay, Barnacules, like people with like crazy systems. Like I don't they have got that crazy. Linus has that like 7 people, 1 CPU, whatever system. I don't know. Maybe that one could even beat it. Do you think that's better than this?
I think Linus could put together something that could beat this. He's got the resources, definitely.
Linus
I mean,
probably could.
yeah. So he's just got to name himself John Travolta.
And then he could even get it sponsored by Corona, and they could drink Coronas on air.
That's it. Yeah. Corona Travolta. That's
Yeah,
it.
drinking. Linus does strike me as a Corona and lime kind of guy. I've got to be honest. He does strike me as a Corona and lime type of guy.
Really? He strikes me as a elephant beer.
Elephant beer? What the fuck is that?
Got a unique taste.
What the hell is elephant beer? Is it like some
beer's
Aussie
good.
stuff?
Yeah, it's German. It's German beer.
Okay. I am not familiar.
I don't know. I tried it a few years back. I remember some dude giving me a beer. Like, this is elephant beer. I'm like, this is pretty good.
All right. Gotta get the Corona sponsor, man. Or if they want to send us some Xeons, we could try to beat it too and get a Corona sponsorship. There you go.
That's
All right.
it.
So last topic of the day. I wanted to save the best one for last. It's the topic I know Brian is most excited about. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me facepalm? Like,
Anyway, Brian Hater Deluxe got another Euro Truck Simulator is taking wheel customization very seriously.
does that say you like trolling me right now? Kotaku up the top as well.
This was actually sent. This was sent over by Tiago Tunes. So Looks like there's going to be an update. There's going to be an update.
Tiago, stop trolling me.
He's trolling Brian. He trolled Brian. So like, there's going to be an update for Euro Truck that allows further customization of the wheels, so you can get some sexy wheels, man.
I'm overhearing about trucks every fucking week. Like,
look at this wheel customization, baby. Look at this. Look at these wheels. Look at these spinners.
I'm closing down this article. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about trucks.
You could get a big rig and you could put 20s on it, Brian. You could put spinners. Then it could be stunning. You don't want to be stunning with spinners.
Last week, I tried to be a comedian. I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it. Give me 1 week off with trucks. I need a week to recover here.
Brian, this is not Tech Gaming Weekly. This is Truck Gaming Weekly. Okay?
I'm sick of it too.
That's what the T in TGW stands for. You just didn't know. It's Truck Gaming Weekly, baby.
You got me good.
Truck Gaming Weekly.
Joker got me good, guys. Truck Gaming Weekly.
You got to do an American Truck Simulator build. There you go. ATS build.
I think so.
Just build it out of truck parts. It sounds like something you would do.
All right, so are we on to Q&A? So
we're on Q&A, man. Get some Q&A in there. Before we do though, people put your Q&A though. Put your questions in. But there was one thing I forgot to mention in the top of the hour in personal news. I've been busting my ass recently, working out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And weighed myself, and for the first time since like high school, I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, you fat piece of shit," whatever. Since high school, for the first time ever, I'm below 400 pounds, baby, and that puts me at I'm at 123 pounds total loss now since my surgery.
Yeah, well, keep at it, man. Just keep going.
Yep.
So you got that green tea in your life, like proper green tea?
No green tea. I'm just drinking Dunkin' Donuts iced coffees, black and water.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. So. I don't know, man. I broke my toe on other news.
Yeah,
I did post.
Yeah, you fell downstairs.
Yeah, I fell down the stairs. Like, I'm just lucky my back's okay because like I landed, my butt cheek absorbed like a lot of like the initial fall, but then my foot kicked like the door frame, like my middle toe, and that broke my toe. And yeah, I was in pain yesterday. Like I went into work. And the health and sports teacher, she was like, "Are you all right?" Like, I'm like, well, actually, I was going to say, like, can you just tell me, like, the local doctor, who works with injuries? And she's like, "Okay, go here." And then, like, my colleague is like, "Oh, is he still okay to do the test today? Like, can he still administer the test?" I'm just like, and like, even the teacher, she was just looked at her and like, "Are you serious? Look at the guy. He's like in agony. And the only thing you're concerned about is if he's going to do a test today?" So I was just like, yeah, thanks. She stuck up for me. But some people, man, like, you'd think you'd just ask me first, like, "Are you all right?" Well, no, but like, "Oh, can he do the test?"
My question is when you fell, were you wearing sandals with socks?
I was wearing socks, and that was the problem.
Just socks, no sandals.
Yeah. Yeah, so if I was wearing sandals, I wouldn't have slipped. Yeah.
Why do you think? You ever see Linus with a broken toe? I've never seen Linus with a broken toe.
See?
He wears sandals with socks. You need to follow Linus sock tips, okay? If you don't follow Linus sock tips, then that's why you got a broken toe.
Yeah, I messed up. That's all. But shit happens, and I'm actually going to install some grips on the stairs on the edge. Like that's why I slipped off the end of the step and then dropped, and yeah, it sucks.
Got to check yourself before Linus wrecks yourself, man.
That's it. Well, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah,
there you go.
So I'm pretty much out until whenever it feels better. Like I've got the Decade here. That's the Decade.
Oh, so you're off work today then?
Yeah, I'm off work today. I'm going to be watching some Suits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I got the Decade here, the Decade Kane brothers. So. And also, I wanted to talk about, I wrote it down. I wanted to talk about PS2 ports, man. Something I wanted to talk about. And before we go into Q&A, all right, and I can't pull up the Q&A.
Get your questions in there, guys. I still haven't seen any tech questions or anything like that. So if you got questions for us to answer, get them in there now. Yeah,
you're going to have to read the questions out this week.
Yeah, I will.
PS2 port. Whenever I use a PS2 keyboard, I notice like I believe it's a little bit more snappier. But the problem is sooner or later, my computer will just crash randomly. Like, I don't know if you've had this, but every time I've started using a PS2 keyboard, sooner or later you'll just get a random crash.
Is it a
because of the
random Frank P crash?
It's a that's it. You get a random Frank and it'll just come up and crash your computer, and then his head will pop out and be like, "Haha, I gotcha."
I've been running over PS2 since I got my WASD keyboard back in September. I haven't had anything like that.
Not one problem.
No, this PC, I think besides like a graphics thing, like if I was in a game and had a graphics crash or something like that from an overclock, I think my PC has crashed one time, and that's because I was trying a new render setting using CUDA and it didn't work, and then I turned it off.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying. I'm still dying.
This PC is so rock solid, like knock on wood, but my PC is really, really stable.
Is it a native PS2 port or is it a USB to PS2 adapter?
I am using a USB to PS2 adapter and then plugged into a PS2 port native on my motherboard.
Okay.
My motherboard has PS2, but then my keyboard is USB to a PS2 adapter. You know what I mean? Into the motherboard.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm just wondering about. So every time I use a PS2 keyboard, it's like, okay, once in maybe 2 weeks, it'll just randomly crash, as opposed to, my X99 system, I wasn't running a PS2 keyboard, and it just never crashed once. So it's something I've just noticed. Maybe if someone else wants to chime in, a lot of other people want to chime in about PS2 keyboards.
Let's get some questions though.
Yeah. Definitely.
Let's see. Someone wanted to know good cheap camera for YouTubing. Well, honestly, man, it's not. I don't know what you define as cheap, but right now I wouldn't buy anything starting out besides the G7.
Like, I mean, that's a.
I mean,
unless expensive though.
Unless you can get it for like $500 for the body. I mean, for the body and the kit lens. If you can get that for like $500, that's such a good deal. I mean, that's compared to like if you're buying like a Canon new, that's like what you're going to pay anyway. And if you're talking about a real DSLR, I mean, if you're talking about really budget, like around $100, $200, then no, you're not going to get something like that. But if you're around that $500 range, you could find the G7 with the 14 to 42 kit lens, and that's the only thing I would recommend really in that range.
Yeah, the G7 is the be all and end all for value for money. I mean, you're getting 4K.
We all got them.
Like they are the shizzle. Like, I'm even using the onboard mic and it sounds phenomenal. Like, I can scrub all the noise out of that. It's a really good camera. Like, Panasonic have done a really good thing with the G7. So if you can afford the G7, I'd go for the G7. If not, I recently sold my EOS Ms for like $200 a pop. $200 for the body, and then I sold the other one for like $300. So, I mean, that's a 1080p camera. So that was pretty good. I mean, that was doing a pretty good job. I mean, the G7 beats it, but the G7 costs a lot more. So, I mean, I'd say the EOS M would be an underrated bargain that you can pick up if you're on a real budget. Get that with the pancake lens. I wouldn't, if you're going G7, I wouldn't do kit lens. Like, I've seen. Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing I want to say is I know like people say $500, might be a lot for like a starting out camera. But if you're really going to do YouTube, I mean, you should start out doing something with whatever you have handy. So if you got a phone handy, start it with that first, get comfortable on camera. And then if you really know you do want to buy a camera, then I would say get a G7. And the case I want to make for it, the case I want to make for it for spending $500 is if you know you're going to keep going, you've already been making videos and you want to get a good camera. If you go out and you try to save money and you spend $300, let's say, to save some money, I promise you, within 6 to 12 months, you're going to regret it and wish you had spent $500 on the G7 instead. I promise you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Promise you. Promise.
Yeah,
it's like a graphics card. Just if you can wait and save for a couple months more to get something better, it's like a graphics card. Do it, because then it's just going to last you that much longer, and 4K is just setting you up for glory. Even if you don't upload in 4K, it just gives you more pixels so that you can go ahead and crop down. It gives you a lot more options, and you're capturing a lot more. So even if you just scale the whole thing down to 1080, it's going to look that much sharper compared to if you did capture in 1080 to begin with.
You've also, I mean, those primes I'm going to give Panasonic a big thing here for the primes are amazing. Like, they've got I got $160 for a 25mm prime, and it looks gorgeous. People have said how good my videos are looking lately. That's because of that prime lens. So get yourself a prime, or you can go Joker's route and get like the really expensive lens.
So I was looking for the question someone had asked for you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. I'll try and pull it up. I mean, just if my monitor starts flicking out, I warned you in advance, you know.
Yeah, I saw a question for Brian. Someone wants to know if they should buy a GTX 980, $500, or a Fury. I did that test actually when I had the Fury, and in that comparison, the 980 made more sense because of the fact that it overclocks more. But I mean, if you really want to save money, just get a 970. It's so close to a 980, you could save yourself some money there and get a 970 instead.
Yeah, see, I'm in the same boat. I'd be like R9 390 or 970, depending on where you live, depending on which one's cheaper. That would be my recommendation at the end of the day. It's like, honestly, I think a lot of people weigh too much on which one to get. I mean, if you're just a gamer, either the 970 or the 390 are the cards to get. They're both really good
for
graphics
1080 and
cards.
1440, 60 hertz type gaming. Yeah, it's just golden.
Yeah.
That's just your home and hose right there.
Like, if you want to step up to a Fury, I'd just say wait, because, you know, Pascal's on the horizon, Polaris is on the horizon.
If you and plus if you wait and that's your price budget, then you could probably get, you know, in a few months you'll be able to get a Fury X used at that price. So you just wait and you get something a little bit better.
Yeah. So
wait for people that are people that want to just go and upgrade every generation, like myself, who'll be out there hawking their 980 Ti's the second the 1080 hits.
That's it.
And then you pick up the pieces because we're in a rush and it's like, I don't care. I just need $800 so I can get this card. I don't need the full 1200 I put into it. I only need 800. So you're getting an amazing deal. $400 per 980 Ti. Everything must go. That's basically what will happen with my graphics card. So keep an eye on eBay and follow me. Hardware 2.0 spelled out phonetically.
And that's what happened with the 980. I mean, that's what happened with the 780s. Man, as soon as 970s dropped, the 780s just crashed in price. Like literally one day went from like $500 to $300. It was incredible. So yeah, don't forget that's what'll happen. So that's just our recommendations are pretty much the same on that one. So what's the next question?
I'm not really seeing a whole lot. So what do you think about Plex Media Server? You could actually answer that since you
it's really good if you can utilize it. Like, it's a unique service. You know, it's a really good service where, you know, you can just make one machine that's just this big media host feed. You can even like stream it to your smartphone, stream it to anything, like stream it to your friends. It's a really good application. Really good.
The part of it that hurts me is that you're essentially paying to access files that you already have on your network.
No, but it's the power. It's a powerful program. That's what it is. You're paying for the software.
The powerful program that they're hawking though, I could essentially have by hooking up an HTPC in my living room.
Not really. Like, you can you stream that stuff to your smartphone from your HTPC? Like, I mean, it's a very ease of use.
Well,
it's got a lot very useful program.
I'm sure there's some instances where you could do that. I mean, you could do it the other way around. I know. You can go to Chromecast if you want.
Can you set up usernames? Can you set up usernames and passwords?
Yeah, Windows.
So with easy,
Windows.
like for people on other networks to access, it's a really good program. Like, I really liked it when I started using it, and I can recommend it if you really want to go that route. Like, Plex Media Server is really useful.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. All I'm saying is I've never found the usefulness to me because I'm the type of person that I would just rather have a Windows machine so that I could tinker and do whatever I wanted on it, and rather than be locked down to a closed platform.
Yeah, but that's why I said if you can take advantage of Plex's services, then yeah, it's really good. But if you've got to look at if it's for you or not. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, I use it when I go to the gym. Man, I'm streaming songs off my my PC here. So it's really good.
People in the chat seem to like Plex.
Well, that's it. There's a lot of songs on YouTube that are blocked on my smartphone in Japan. It's funny because they're not blocked on my computer, but they're blocked on my smartphone. I'm like, huh?
Good VPN service for Europe. Say, now look at Astral. Astral's really good. I use private internet access, but they are in America, so I don't know if that would be a problem for you, but. It shouldn't be if you're in Europe because, I mean, you don't live in America, but it could be an issue maybe if they subpoena the servers and then turn them over to your government. So you might want to just try to find one that's not hosted in America. That's your best bet there. Go with Astral. I'm actually switching to Astral at the end of the month because I've been having a lot of services I go to are getting all the IPs on private internet access are getting blocked everywhere. So I recommend Astral. ASTRILL.
Oh, nice.
Anyway,
all right.
Any more questions? Let's see. Are AMD cards better utilized for DX12? I think it means are they better set up for DX12 right now as it stands?
I'd say yes. Like after depends. I mean, Gears of War was a mess, man, and I think from what I can see, it was a purposeful hit from I don't know. I've got to research a lot more on that, but I think down at the ground up, they are like right at the core, low level side of things. They are more geared towards inherently supporting DX12 better. That's just from what I can see. I mean, it depends on whose word you're going to take at the end of the day. What remains to be seen is when there's a heap of games released, who's going to perform better. And I mean, we really won't know until a lot of games hit the shelves, right? Because at the moment it's just a lot of he say, she say, but I do think they are geared up for DX12 better than Nvidia. That's what I do feel.
All right.
So, how about you?
That whatever you said.
You're fair enough, guys. I think jokes attention spans.
No. What happened is I was gonna say I only have enough time for one more question, and I had found the one I was gonna take before we get out of here because I do have to get going actually. I have to be somewhere. I have to get out of here at 6, so I only got 10 minutes. But before we get out of here, last question I was gonna take is someone asked who our favorite tech tubers are, so I'd let you take that one first before we get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of tech tubers. Like, there's a lot of different tech tubers.
But who's your tech tuber man crush? Like, if you had to pick one.
Man crush, like, is there one that I just love?
Yeah, who's your favorite tech tuber? Like, above all else, like, I mean, as far as reviews are concerned, like, you go to him, no questions asked. Whatever he says, you'll pretty much take his word at heart.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't take other tech tubers' words at the holy gospel. Yeah.
No, there's not a single tech tuber out there that you trust implicitly?
I trust it. I mean, I trust like a lot of the tech tubers are doing a good job, right? I trust that, right?
Yeah.
It's just like I'm just so busy with my own thing at the moment. I just don't watch that much. Like I do watch Jay's 2 cents. I do watch,
as far as like, what about for style then? Whose styles of tech tuber videos do you like the best?
I'd have to say, I mean, from looking at the B-roll, that'd be Dimitri from Hardware Canucks, man. That guy's
Dimitri does do some sexy B-roll.
He's just unstoppable, man. So yeah, like if you're talking like who makes the prettiest videos, I'd have to say Dimitri, man. He knows what he's doing.
Definitely, and he's also good about covering all bases. Like his case reviews, he covers everything.
Yeah,
like I mean, like if you want to know something about a case, and like guarantee if it's a case that's come out in the past 5 years, he's probably reviewed it. It's like that guy is like the case king.
Yeah, so I mean, all right, I'll have to go. I'll say Dimitri then. Hardware Canucks.
There you go. For me, it would be for hardware reviews, like actually like watching people review stuff. I really like Paul's Hardware. But I would say favorite tech tuber like person to watch like talk and stuff like that is Logan. Probably no surprise to anyone. But actual hardware reviews, mostly I like Paul's Hardware. I like his style. I like his pacing. I like his editing as well. And he's also very informative, and he touches a lot of bases. Like his X34 review in particular, that really I was like, wow, he's like, he hit on all the bases, like the same ones that I hit in my review. I saw him hitting on a lot of those same bases that I saw some other people that I'm not going to mention, missing some things, and he did a really good job, even touching on things that I didn't touch on in my review. So, Paul's good. He's thorough. I like his stuff.
Oh, there we go. All right, yep. So questions, guys. We'll answer them next week when I've got my computer fully functional. At the moment, I'm just I'm realizing the weakness of a GTX 660, and that is that it doesn't really support 5-meter HDMI out properly. Yeah. Because I was running the 660s the other day, man, on a 2-meter cable. They were perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I jump into Windows now, and it's like both of them. Like I've got 2 GTX 660s here, and they're both exhibiting the exact same problems. They just can't run a 1080p HDMI, 1440p DVI, and a 4K monitor at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, actually, we got to get out of here though. We got to wind it down, guys. But thank you for joining us. Episode 40. Oh man, 12 more to go until we've reached our 1-year anniversary. It feels like it's so soon. 12.
Yeah. We'll have to have a party though. We're gonna have to have.
We're gonna do something. We're gonna have to do something big. We'll have to get some suggestions from the community and stuff, and get some ideas of what we should do. Pizza party.
Yeah, pizza was good.
Pizza party. There you go. Should have pizza party. That was like my favorite. That's no surprise. Again, as a fat piece of shit, you probably no surprise that pizza parties were my favorite in school. Love the pizza party.
I bet pizzas just make this the be all and end all. Food. It's the best.
Pizza's where it's at, mate.
Yeah, that's it. And green tea. Pizza green tea. There you go.
All right, but yep, we will go ahead and get out of here. And thank you once again for hanging out with us. And we will catch you guys next week. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.